Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. Okay, let's jump straight in, shall we? Both of these journals were made with one sheet of paper. This one here is a 12 by 12 size sheet of paper. This one here is a little bit larger, and I will give you dimensions and everything once we start our tutorial. I've got everything written down step by step, so it's very easy to follow. Okay, so I'll just show you what it is. There's 4 signatures in here, so there's one signature there, and then a little bit of a bits and pieces of this and that, and a little pocket there, and then more. I will show you all of the details in this journal after we do the tutorial, so then you can get ideas on what to add to your journal and stuff like that. So then we come to the end of this one, so that's the back cover, and then it keeps on going. So this is why I think it's so exciting, because there's just so many things that we can, so many ways that we can adapt this simple concept. So it's like an accordion type journal, so it opens up, it can't really fit all the way, and then it can lay completely flat, so you can see here you can do your journaling this way, or and the beautiful thing is that it closes straight back up very easily to how it was. So I think this is so cute and so exciting, and these little flaps of course want to open. Okay, this one here is a larger size, so once again it's got 4 signatures, and it's just a larger piece of paper that I've got. We'll go into all of the details later. I just want to give you show you what you will be learning in this tutorial. So once again, of course, then we have to go to the back over here. We've got more signatures there, and another signature here, and all sorts of different bits and pieces. Then we come to the front, and then once again this journal, it cannot fit in the camera, but it opens up all the way. It can lay flat, opens up all the way like this here, closes up beautifully and properly, and then same on this side here. So it's just so much fun, and I loved the process so much because it is unlike anything I've done before, and it's just perfect, absolutely perfect. So we will do the tutorial now. I've got the steps over here. I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a screenshot of the steps at the end of the video, so don't try sort of copying down the steps now. We will do the tutorial, and then at the end we'll come back to these two, and I'll do a slow flip through, and I'll talk about what I did, and so you can get ideas and inspiration on when you create your own. Let's get started, shall we? For this demonstration, I will be using a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And the first thing that we need to do is look at the paper and decide which part of it is going to be your front cover, and then we're going to mark it. So if you have a paper like this, for example, it doesn't have any writing, it doesn't have any pictures, it can go either way. You don't have to do this step, you don't have to mark anything. Just keep in mind what you want to be your front cover, this side or this side. If you have a directional paper like this one here, for example, it's got butterflies and they're going one way, so we don't want the front cover to end up upside down. So you might want to keep that in mind, and then mark what will be your front cover. I'm going to use this one here, and as you can see in the whole sheet of paper, this side is all right, but here I've got this little image and it's going kind of that way, and I decided I want this to be my front cover, this section here. So I'm just going to mark it. I'm going to use a tiny little bit of masking tape, and I'm going to stick it down. It will come off very easily, and I'm just going to mark F for front, and then I know which way direction as well, so I know that this will be my front cover. Okay, so that's you only need to do that if that's important, like if depending on what the paper is like. All right, so let's begin. The next thing you're going to do is fold your paper in half. I'm just going to move that a little bit, and just make sure that all of the ends are meeting, everything's nice and aligned. I like to, once they all meet, I like to just press down in the middle and then fold from the middle. So I can already see this is what my cover is going to look like. Might just score it a little bit. Okay, and now you have one crease. I know you can't see, but we know that we have one crease there. Okay, so now I want to turn it the other way. You can see my crease there, and I'm just folding it the other way. Make sure everything is meeting nicely. And now your paper looks like this. You have 2 creases. Okay, now we're up to step number 4, and we want to fold the lower section to the middle crease. But please make sure you're not folding your front. So have a look here. This is my front. I don't want to fold my front in half. So I'm going to make sure, I'll just turn it this way. And that way when I fold this way, I'm not folding my front right in half. I hope that makes sense. So now we are folding all the way up to the crease, just like this. Just to that middle crease. And you can see that extra crease there. That's there. And now we're going to do exactly the same for the upper section. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to fold this section to the middle. And now you can see, I'm just turning it around so you can see a little bit better. You can see all those lines. These are all of my folds. I've got folded in the middle. You can't see the middle one, but it's there. You can see now I've got all of those folds. Okay, so we want to turn the paper to the correct side. So this is my right side. This will be my front cover and my outside. Now we want to cut with scissors to the 3rd fold. So we're cutting, this is your front cover, we're going to start cutting here. We're not going to cut on the other side. We'll cut here all the way to the 3rd fold. 1st fold, 2nd fold, 3rd fold. Right there in the middle, and you already have a line there, you already have a fold to guide you. So let's do that. So I'm just cutting here. And I'm coming right up to that where the lines meet, right up there. I'm not going to cross it. So you can see right there. And this is what you have. And now we're just going to fold it into a book, and that's it. It's as simple as that. So I've written down the instructions here just to make it a little bit easier. So now what we're going to do, we start with the front, and we're going to go under, over, under. It's going to make perfect sense in a moment. So we're going to go under. That one goes under. Now this one will go over. And then we're going to go under. So that was under, over, under. And now we're going to flip over the top, just like this. And now it's looking upside down. Okay, so now we're going to go under, over, under again. So we go under, over, under, and you end up with your book upside down. Okay, and there we go. We just flip it around. Let's go to the next section. This is the main construction of the book. So now I've got here glue your pocket. So you will see as you flip through, you will see this section here that opens up. That was the pocket that I showed you when I showed you what this looks like. So now what I want to do is just glue my pocket right there. So at the back inside. So now what I need, you can use double-sided tape. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue just on one side here. So you can see there, I've just applied a little bit of glue and I'm just going to shut it. Press down, make sure there's no seepage. Okay, and that's the construction of the book. How easy is that? Little pocket there, everything is joined up, so it can still open up like this. And now we can do with it whatever we want. So as you've seen, I sewed in some signatures, and I'm going to do that today as well, just so you see sort of how I did it, I guess. But I think before I do that, I'm going to do one more, just to cement this in. But I'm not going to go through the steps this time. I'm just going to fold away and then you can see how it's done. Okay, so this will be my front. All right, and here we go. Let's fold away. So there's my front. I'm going to cut right there. Okay, folding under, over, under, over the top, under, over, under. Well, something interesting has happened with my directional paper. So I would suggest not to use directional paper because you can see this is my front cover. Everything is going the right way. This is my inside, but then at the back, it goes the wrong way. So if you're using something with script, it's not going to, I mean, that's the right way, but then this is the wrong way. So that would bug me. So I would personally just stick with something like this that's non-directional. You can see it goes kind of both ways. So keep that in mind when choosing your scrapbook paper. And of course, it doesn't have to be scrapbook paper. You can use your painty papers, or you can use like things like this watercolor pad, these large sheets of watercolor or acrylic, you know, or even like kids scrapbook, just plain scrapbook papers that you can tea dye. For this journal here, I used a really large sheet of paper. It's 23 by 16. I just happened to come across a roll at an op shop, and you can tea dye it and do the same thing. So obviously your sheets of paper don't have to be squares like our scrapbook paper 12 by 12 is, so it doesn't have to be a square. So you can see how large this one is. So obviously the larger the paper, the bigger the journal. So if you've got something like this, perfect. Okay, so going back to this one, I'm going to add some signatures in here just so you can see sort of where I place them, and then I'm going to do a full flip through of the other journals so you can get lots of ideas. There's lots of different things that we can do with this construction here. So I've already prepared some of my signatures here, and I'm going to add 4 signatures. So I'm going to have one here and one here at the back, and then on the other side I'm going to have one here and one here. So I'm just going to add these ones first. You can even staple this in, or you can sew right through. I don't see why not. I just like the look of these spines, but it is a little bit more labor intensive, I guess you can say. Okay, so I started from the middle there, back in, then over here, and then back inside. So I'm just going to hold this really tight. And tie a little bow. This is kind of hard to do standing up, but here we go. I don't like the bow, so I'm just going to make a double knot and just trim. I'm going to do something different here, and then so I want another one here. I don't need this anymore. Remove that gently. Okay, so I've got my first signature here. I've got something I can do there. I can do more signatures if I want to. All of them could be signatures, but I like to do, you know, it's more fun to do different types of things and stuff. So now I'm going to add this one over here. Okay, so that one's done at the back, and now for my last one, just got one to go. And here is our little book. So you can see now there's 4 new signatures in there. We can add extra signatures there and there, but it might be putting a bit too much pressure on this little section here that we've glued together. So that's why I like to stick with 4 signatures. Okay, and then, you know, you can now go ahead and have fun with this and decorate the way you like. And I might do a little label here and call this done, and then we'll do a full flip through of the other ones. And there we go. So a little booklet made in no time. We can spend as much time on it as we want to, you know, add more embellishing, things like that. We can play with the covers. You know, I've done different thing over here. This is another one that I just quickly whipped up. We can do some inking the edges like I've done on this one here. You can see that I've inked the edges there. So lots of things, lots and lots of things that we can do. And that's why now let's just do a flip through of these two. So for this cover here, I created this separately, so it's not actually sewn through the scrapbook paper. I've done all of my sewing and stuff, and then I glued it onto my front cover. So just playing around with, you know, how things are looking. Here I've got a little pocket with a tag, and the more things you stick here, the sturdier your construction will be, which I will talk more about when we get to this, because this paper is not very strong paper, yet it's holding this book very, very well together. So we'll see that in a moment. And then you can go ahead and you can embellish your pages. I didn't do a whole lot, just a little bit on the front page. Then on this section here, I've got another little pocket with a tag. Just minimal, really minimal things, and they make such a difference. Over here, I've got a little flip down notepad here, and I have sewn them together right there, and then glued it onto the book. So the papers are sewn together, and then this as well, same thing. I do my sewing on the page first, and then I glue it onto my book. Okay, and then here for the pocket, I just put a little thing in there, more journaling space. Okay, and then on this page here, I have this little pocket that I actually have a tutorial on it. I think it's called Fold 4 Pockets from One Sheet of Paper, so you can have a look at that video. I will link it in the description box. So we have 4 pockets here that we can fill up with little tags, and how cute does it look? I think this one can go at the back, it's the biggest one, and then this one here. So like a loaded pocket with lots of tags. And then another one of those notes section. And then over here, just a little bit of embellishing there. So another journal that's sewn in. For these ones, I've just tied a bow in the middle. And then here, I've got these little tags that can come out. I mean, I could keep on and on and on embellishing this. Like I could stick some sentiments here, put some tag toppers there, you know, but it can be never ending, I guess. Here we go. Okay, so these sections open up, and it's just for more journaling, you know. And I think like pulling things out and opening things up, I think it just gives the book that much more interest. And I just glued some images on here, you can see. And then this is all of these images, everything that you see is fussy cut from books. I don't use digital prints or anything like that. I just made a tiny little bookmark. It says bookmark. This is also cut out from a book, Victorian scrapbook, I think that's the book. So I always use original images, of course. I don't scan and copy or any of that. So I just glued the image onto tea-dyed paper, and that's it. Made a little bookmark there, and then this closes. And you can see that I've sewn right through the cover here when I was sewing these down, just so that there's a little bit more interest on the back cover. Okay, and then we go to this section here. I have a little bit of a collage thing going on, another little flip down kind of pocket for more notes and journaling and stuff like that, and then the journal here, and then another little pocket with a simple tag. This is also a cutout from the book. And then here I have made a little envelope that opens up, and this keeps it closed. And then a little note here, it's a belly band. The envelope is kind of like a belly band. So this is also from a book. And I think, you know, it's the way we were, and then she's kind of looking into the past kind of thing, you know. That was the story of this page. Come on, close envelope. And then this is a little tuck that I made. So she's a little tuck. And this is actually from a Venetian blind little tag that lives in there. Okay, and then so that's our journal there, the journal section of the notebook. And then here I also have a tutorial on this. I might link that in the description below. So another little flip down thing with the double tie string closure, and this is also a cutout from that book. So I was using all of the images from the book, and I don't know, it kind of all goes together nicely. Okay, so I'll link that video down as well. And then we come to the front. So lots of little pockets and things to pull out and flip down and flip up and look at. All right, now let's move on to this one. So the very first thing that I did after I cut down my paper is I reinforced my spines, because this is it's quite flimsy paper. So I want my book to be sturdy and to last, obviously. I wanted to reinforce all of my panels. So you will see on my front page, I've got some scrapbook paper going on, and with this little collage here, and that at the same time as giving the book its character, obviously it's also reinforcing everything. It's making it strong and sturdy. And then here I've got a little pocket that I made just from, you know, offcuts, bits and pieces, little offcuts. See, you know, those little offcuts we have from materials and things. I just sew them together and made a little pocket here. The way that I reinforce my spine, so you can see each section that has the journal part in it has been reinforced, and it's simply a little bit of fabric that I first glued on to reinforce the spine, and then I sewn through. So sewn through, you know, sewn in my signature in the spine. So this journal, I did a little bit more embellishing, and I was using different pages and doing some sewing on the pages and embellishing little bits and pieces like that, just to give it more character, and inking the edges and all the things that I usually do when making journals. And because I was planning to, you know, I'm going to put this journal in my Etsy shop, so I wanted it to be to the standard that I like, I guess. Okay, so that's the first signature done, and there's 4 signatures all together. So you can see just little things. It's the little things that make a difference, like the cascading pages. We have a large page here, we have sewing here, we have a what's it called, like a wiggly edge over here, and you know, just different things. So you can see here that I have glued down the scrapbook paper to reinforce my panel, because the more pages you put in your book, you know, you want it to be sturdy. It has to be sturdy, otherwise the papers are going to bend down, and it's not going to be a very sturdy construction. All right, so the way that I did that is by gluing down, you know, this scrapbook paper is quite a thick scrapbook paper, and that's the fabric that I glued down. Go back in. Okay, and now on this section here, I just glued this down. Someone rang the bell. Okay, so this is also a fussy cut image from that book. And then over here, instead of a signature, I have an envelope that I sewn in, just like you would sew in a signature, but you can see here that it's sewn in. But I do have the envelope making little squad things, so I have to sew it in before gluing the envelope down. Okay, and then I've just got extra bits and pieces in here for more journaling. And just a little sticker here that I made from a stamp. And then this is the pocket. So what I did here is those Reader's Digest books, and oftentimes they have pictures like this, and I just glued them down on tea dyed paper. Looks really cool with all these tea dyeing effects over here, and it's kind of like when you're looking at it, you know, it would be cool if we had all the time in the world to journal about what the picture is about, because we really have no idea unless we've read the book. So, you know, what's happening here? Like, what is going on, you know? I don't know. It's a little, I don't know. I just liked this sort of stuff. So something to ponder, you know, looking at a picture. Anyway, so I've got that in the pocket. And then over here, I've done another one of those, just using up little scraps of papers that I had, and I did a waterfall effect, and this is glued on, so I didn't actually sew through the page. I just sewed through all of these papers, and then I glued that down onto the page. So over here, just some tags and a pocket. So this also serves as, you know, keeping the book firm, keeping it strong. And then over here I have a little belly band. These are also easy to make, but they look, you know, looks like, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it, obviously, but it's not complicated, is what I'm trying to say. And then just little bits and pieces here. Might have to trim this down. I left it long because I think I wanted to put some hearts in the end. And, you know, look at that, just a little bit of interest here and there. I don't go over the top with embellishing journals and things like that. So I didn't do anything at the back, on the back page over here, but I do have scrapbook paper there. So that's giving this cover the sturdiness that it needs. Okay, and then here, just a little pocket, another fussy cut image from a book. And I've got my third signature here. And just using all different types of pages and things like that, adding a little bit of interest here and there, sewing and inking and all that. And then another pocket here at the back, and then over here I did another panel, of course, to keep the sturdiness. So each panel will either have, like, if you can see here, I didn't put any scrapbook paper here because I already have it. Oh, moving the camera. I already have it on this side, so it's already been reinforced on the other side, and this is just adding extra strength to it. Okay, so I just made some pockets with tags over here, and then the pages, all different, you know, types of things: lined paper, book paper, scrapbook paper, sewing on the pages. I love this wiggly effect. I've been doing quite a bit of that lately. I really enjoy it. Some book pages. I love this. I used to be a milk carton. I love it. Recycled paper. That's what we're all about, right? Okay, and then I've got a little pocket there and another fussy cut. I really love this image. I was going to use it in a sewing type journal, but I'm just going to use things up and not, you know, hoard. So I made that into a little pocket there as well, and that completes this journal. I think it's so exciting because it's totally different to anything that I've made before. So it opens up all the way, and you know, you can open it up, you know, this way too, and you might have things falling out. And but the point is, it's a whole, you know, everything is kind of one piece of art. I don't know if you can call it art, but one piece of a project in all different sections, and it's just so interesting, I think, you know. And I mean, as you know, this has been done before, perhaps not in this particular way, but I was really excited about it, and I hope you like it too. You know, maybe it's easier to work with smaller ones at first when you start. Just do one little one first and then see how you go, and then play around with the sizes and play around with all of the things that you can glue on and add, and you know, you can have so much fun with this, and I hope that you do. Let me know what you think about this project. I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a screenshot of the instructions over here, so let me just get that ready. Okay, so now's your time to take a screenshot of the first two sheets. Not that you really need instructions if you've done this before, or once you do it once or twice, you will know exactly what you need to do. All right, so now I'm just going to pop this sheet, so the third sheet here. You can take a screenshot of that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Give me a like if you like this video, and leave me a comment, and I will see you in my next one.